I've gone from skinny fat to lean and athletic, and I didn't make this transformation because I ate boring, bland chicken and broccoli meals or because I restricted all the carbs and all my favorite foods. I've actually enjoyed my favorite foods throughout the whole process. And in this video, I will show you the full meal planning protocol that I have used. So you can literally watch this video, steal it, build a meal plan, and go from skinny fat to lean and athletic just like I did. So let's just move into my laptop because I built out a full blown presentation for you right here because yeah, this will be so good. So as I said, if I woke up skinny fat tomorrow, here's the exact meal planning system I would use to get lean. But before we dive into the full meal planning protocol and the deep down stuff, the first thing we need to talk about is this. So just to kind of like dial into my story and everything, I spent 3 years eating clean and training hard, but despite all of that, I still looked soft and I honestly had no idea why. So this was me training 5 days a week, running a lot, eating super clean, restricting myself, and I had really no idea why because on paper, I was doing everything right? And the problem was not my effort, it was that nobody ever gave me the actual numbers. Because here's the truth most skinny fat guys never hear. Most skinny fat men are either eating way too little, which puts the body in survival mode and holds onto belly fat because the body literally thinks it's about to enter a period of famine, which means you will literally be starving first and while. So it literally stores onto fat for energy, basically storage. That's what I was trying to say. Or they eat way too much, which literally just keeps the layer of soft sitting right over whatever muscle they have, whatever little muscle they have. Because if you're skinny fat, you have way too much fat and way too little muscle. And the ones who are not doing either of those are stuck in a bulk and cut cycle that actually never works. So you bulk up, put on some fat, you cut down, lose some muscle, and you already actually like end up in the same exact place every single time. And meanwhile, your metabolism is simply all over the place and the body has no idea what's coming next. And that's why before we even think about losing fat, we need to do something I call the reboot phase. And this is literally nothing. Like, I mean, nobody talks about this. So let's just dive into how you can reboot so that we actually can later on get to the meal planning stuff. So the reboot phase is basically a period of 2 to 4 weeks where literally everything starts. So before we even, think about cutting fat and cutting down on calories, before we try to lose fat, everything, before we do literally anything, you eat at maintenance for 2 to 4 weeks. No deficit, no restriction, just eating the amount of food your body actually needs to function normally. And the reason for this is pretty simple because if you've been stuck in a bulk and cut cycle for a year, your metabolism is completely dysregulated. Your body does not trust you and your metabolism is nowhere near where it's supposed to be. So let's say your maintenance is supposed to be at, let's say, 30,000, but because you have gone through this bulk and cut cycle is literally at, I don't know, like 2,200. And it's just like, that was an extreme example, obviously, but is not where it's supposed to be, right? And so every time you cut, your body literally panics and holds onto fat. And every time you bulk, it stores more fat than it should because it literally does not know what's coming next. And so the reboot phase breaks that cycle. It tells your body that food is consistent and available and it does not need to go into survival or famine mode or this fight or flight mode every time you eat less. So most guys skip this because they want results quick. But honestly, you got to get that out of your head. Like, results will not come quick. This is a long-term process. And if you can't stick to it, literally just click off this video because this won't help you. Like, no matter what kind of meal plan, no matter what kind of training plan you have, you will not fix this if you're not in this for long term. If it was not, like something that lasts a long while, everybody would be ripped. Everybody would look great, right? But it's a long-term process. And the ones or the trait that separates the ones who actually get lean and athletic and those who stay skinny fat is the fact that they can stay consistent even if they don't see the kind of results they would like to for a longer period of time, if that makes sense. And so this is exactly why most guys pretty much stay stuck. So before we do anything else, you want to calculate your maintenance using this equation right here, which is your body weight in pounds times 14, and that equals your maintenance. And that's literally how many calories you will be eating in the next 2 to 4 weeks while hitting 1 gram of protein per pound of your body weight. And that's it. And so once you have finished your reboot phase, you actually want to get into what I call the rebuild phase, which is, again, 16 weeks, 16 plus weeks, but like the ideal timeline for this to actually see an actual good transformation is at least 16 weeks. And so once your metabolism is stable, you're ready to actually change your body composition. That is, lose fat, build muscle, get in shape, get lean, athletic, stop being skinny fat. That's what we all want, right? And so this is where you drop into a small deficit and like an emphasis on the word small. We don't want to be going into a 500 to 1,000 calorie deficit because, again, we don't want quick results. If we take quick results, we will lose muscle as well, not just fat, and you will literally just start looking like, let me just show you an example, literally just like this, like no muscle, belly fat, and that's what we don't want, right? So kind of like get back into explaining the full reboot phase. You actually want to be in a small deficit only, nothing extreme, so 200 to 300 calories below your maintenance. This makes it sustainable, this makes it able or possible for you to keep or even build muscle while losing fat, and that is exactly how we fix the skinny fat look. And so while being in this 200 to 300 calorie deficit, we still want to be hitting our protein targets every single day, and it's more important than ever to do right now. Because protein tells our bodies to keep our muscle or even build muscle. So really, there's a huge emphasis on protein in this rebuild phase. So combined with progressive overload in the gym 2 to 3 times per week, or I would even say 2 to 4 times per week is okay, your body starts losing fat and building muscle at the same time. So this is called body recomposition, not a crash diet, not an aggressive cut that is simply not sustainable, just a small, as I said, sustainable deficit with enough protein to protect your muscle and enough training stimulus to keep building it. And honestly, like the fat comes off as a byproduct, not the goal. And so now that you know how to eat and the exact numbers and everything, let's just get into the fun part, and that is literally the reason why you clicked on this video. And let's honestly just finally move to building your meal plan. So the meal rotation method is basically the thing I call the whole like meal planning protocol. I call this the meal rotation method. And so most diets honestly fail for a reason nobody talks about. It's not a lack of willpower. It's not that you chose the wrong foods or anything. By the way, spoiler alert, there is no wrong food. It's that every single day you're forced to make decisions about food from scratch. So literally, you wake up every single morning and you start thinking and asking yourself these questions like, what should I eat today? Does this fit my macros? Should I cook this or order this? Or should I cook this, cook that, whatever? You're just not sure. You have these millions of tiny decisions to make, and it's okay for a few weeks. But after a few weeks, that mental exhaustion, I call it the decision fatigue, builds up and you fall off. And it's not because you're weak or because you're not disciplined or because you lack willpower or whatever, but because you're unnecessarily burning energy on decisions that should already be made ahead. And so the solution is not a more complicated meal plan with millions of recipes and, like saving thousands of recipes every single day on Instagram that honestly you never use. It's a simpler one, honestly. You literally just pick 3 to 4, even 5 meals you actually enjoy. You build them around your protein and calorie targets, and you rotate them every single day. That's it. And so the same meals on repeat until hitting your protein numbers become honestly just completely automatic. So you don't think about food anymore. You just go about your day. You just eat and, as I said, get on with your day. And here's the part most people get wrong about this though. Like meal rotation does not mean that your meals should only be like plain chicken, broccoli, rice, whatever. These meals do not need to be boring. And I'll show you how these meals do not have to be boring. You actually want these meals to be something that you are okay with eating. Like if you literally would be able to eat only these 4 meals for the rest of your life, you would be like super happy to eat them. That is how good these meals will be. And I'll show you how they can be so good in just a minute. But literally, all these just means that you want to build your meals around foods you actually and genuinely like. So that repeating them or like rotating them every single day never feels like punishment, but actually something pleasurable. Because honestly, like for me, I really enjoy burgers, and every single like lunch, I have my ground beef burgers with some homemade potato fries, maybe even some like cheddar cheese on top, and it's just so good. And I look forward to it so much every single day. Like I'm loving it so much, and that's how I want you to go ahead and like go about your fat loss and fitness journey as a skinny fat man. Like we don't want to be punishing ourselves. We don't want to be eating chicken salads unless you really enjoy them. But yeah, these meals are actually interesting. These meals are actually good. And so if you enjoy the meals you're eating, rotating them is not boring or like punishing. It's literally just efficient and enjoyable, and you're happy to do it. So here's how the whole like meal rotation works. So literally I will just show you step by step how to build this whole meal plan for yourself. So step number one, before anything else, you gotta know your calorie targets and protein goal overall. And so these are your two guardrails, kind of like everything you build has to fit within these numbers. And as we already like talked about this number for the first 2 to 4 weeks, this will be your maintenance, and that is your body weight in pounds times 14. And when it comes to, the rebuild phase, that is post week 4, post your reboot phase, you literally just want to subtract, I would say 300 calories. So if your maintenance was 2,500, you in the rebuild phase to lose fat and build muscle want to be eating at 2,200. It's as simple as that. And so that is literally the first step to everything. Step number 4, my bad. Why did I say number 4, honestly? Step number 2, you then want to write down meals you actually love. Not health foods, not what you think you should be eating, but the meals that you actually enjoy and would eat every single day without thinking twice. And this is literally where I want you to start. This is literally the first step when it comes to like the food stuff. So this can be a burger for me. As I said, it's a burger for me. And now that you have finished this list of food that you actually enjoy for like breakfast, lunch, dinner, you want to look for macro-friendly options. So for example, you love burgers and fries. Make it lean ground beef patties plus potatoes baked in the oven with a drizzle of olive oil and maybe some light mayo or some cheddar cheese on top. Same satisfaction, fits your numbers, and you would honestly eat this every day without getting bored. The same works for example, my clients. They love like meatballs, spaghetti, pasta. It's obviously doable. Like pasta is a good food. Like obviously, like you can't have that much of it, but you can have pasta, you can have ground beef balls, ground beef, meatballs, and that's it. Like there's millions of recipes that you can find for these macro-friendly options of your favorite foods, and it's as simple as that. And you literally want to do this for every meal of the day. That is breakfast, lunch, dinner, maybe even some snacks, obviously. And you literally want to just find enjoyable version of each one that hits your protein and stays within your calories. You're not building a diet. You're literally just building a routine you actually want to follow, and that you wake up every single morning and you're looking forward to these meals because you know they will help you achieve that nicer body, and you also fucking love them because they taste so good. Like as I said, every damn day I make my lunch, that is my burgers and fries, and I'm so happy while doing it because it's just gonna be so good. Like I'm so looking forward to it, and that's what I want for you as well. Like fitness should not be a torture, it should be enjoyable. That's how we stay in this for the long term, And so now that you have found like for every meal of the day a like alternative of your favorite foods, you literally want to just play around with portion until it fits. So adjust the grammage of each ingredient until the meal hits your numbers. So if you need more protein, add another egg or add some egg whites or increase the meat, or like if you have too many calories, just reduce the oil or the portion of carbs or the portion of fats and tweak once and literally just lock it in. That's it. It's as simple as that. Just play around with the numbers. This will honestly just take the longest time, but once you have locked this in, it will just be so much worth it. Like it will be so good, man. And so honestly, step number last, I don't know how many of them is there, but that is the last step. You want to literally eat these meals on repeat. That is your rotation, same meals every day, no decisions, no tracking from scratch, no falling off, just eat and move on with your day. And there's another benefit to having a meal rotation like this. Like if you really do not enjoy tracking, like if you totally hate tracking, you despise it, like first of all, I would recommend you track still. But if you totally and utterly hate tracking your meals, you don't need to. Because you know that the meals you're about to eat, you know the exact grammage, you know everything, and you know that just eating these meals will help you stay within your calorie range and protein range. That's it. Like like this system literally allows you to not track your meals and still lose fat and still build muscle. So how cool is that, right? And so this was honestly the whole process of, just building a actually sustainable and enjoyable meal plan. So just to kind of like give you a recap, you literally just want to know your calorie and protein goals, write down meals you actually love, then look for macro-friendly options of these meals, then do this for every meal of the day. So basically just find the enjoyable versions of each one that hits your protein and stays within your calories. And you want to play around with portions and like grams and calories and proteins until it fits. And then last but not least, literally just eat and repeat. That is your rotation. So that was the whole meal planning process. If I woke up skinny fat tomorrow, this is literally what I would do. The first thing, if I hit a tracking, this is literally what I would do again and again and again. And this is literally how you stay in this game for the long term, achieve the best results possible without completely being miserable in your life and eating foods you hate, like chicken salads, like bland chicken and broccoli, veggies, whatever. Like, we actually want to enjoy this process, right? So yeah, honestly, this process is something that helped me go from, let me just zoom in, go from this to this. Like, as you can see, I'm not like super huge, not super shredded, but something just like of a lean athletic body. Like, I don't want to be huge. I don't want to be like ultra crazy shredded at 0% body fat. I don't want that. I'm in a body that I actually enjoy, that body that I love, body that makes me feel good without the top off, like on the beach, at the pool, etc. And that's probably something that you're looking for as well. All right, so that is basically everything. And if this video helped and you would maybe, want some more help, then make sure to either connect with me on Instagram at TomHennel. You will see this handsome fella on this picture right here doing a tricep dip with some weight up. So I post daily tactical videos for skinny fat men that helps you get in even better shape. So like daily value, just like this on a daily basis, not just like weekly on my YouTube channel. Or if you want a more personalized help, building a more specific game plan for your lifestyle, for your preferences, etc., then honestly, just feel free to book a free consultation call with me. You can find a link to the calendar in the description. If you see a time that suits you, the time suits me because it's set up in a way that suits me. So definitely feel free to, book a chat with me. I'll be looking forward to chatting with you. But yeah, this is basically everything. Hope this video helped. If it did, again, you can find me here. And you can also, if you're new to this channel, just subscribe to this channel. But yeah, that's it, and peace out.